NBWA River Valley Champion, Fantana, the Maritime Luchador, and you're listening to the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast.
This is the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. Feel the pain in the blast. Through the ropes, through the fight, Maritime Wrestling rules the night. The past, the present, the future. Maritime Wrestling never dies.
Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. And before I do the intros, on behalf of myself and the entire crew, the wrestling podcast community lost an OG legend last night, or as of this recording, 2 nights ago. Best known as Kevin Castle on the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show, Kevin Scandato passed away at the age of 57. He was battling an illness. First time I ever heard the word podcast was on the Don Tony and Kevin Castle show. And, it really hit me hard because it's the first podcast that I ever watched. So condolences to his family and friends. And thank you for paving the way for what we do. So rest in peace, Kevin Castle. With that being said, joined by Big Boss, Corey Robbie Show. What's going on?
6 episodes in 6 weeks. What a fucking revelation.
What a revelation, huh? It shows what hard work pays off, huh?
Yeah, buddy, we've been doing good. It's been fun. Really happy. We're joined here by the one, the only, Jason.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing much. So,
Let's not
what's
forget
going on
we
with you? But you've been busy, huh?
I'm always busy. It's nonstop graphic design for whether it's the Tide or wrestlers or booking talent for interviews for the podcast here. Always keep busy doing something.
You've really stepped up and you're doing all those scheduling, all those interviews. And man, I got to tell you, give you all the credit in the world for it. It's a huge piece of this podcast. And I'm really, Corey, we were talking about it the other night, but man, we're really coming together as a really good team here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's a 4th member of this team.
Yeah, I don't know if we're talking about that guy.
Logan Green's least favorite member,
Yeah.
Mark the Mark. What's going on?
Well, just being a pest overall.
Yeah, you got that down, Pat.
He'll like me eventually.
How's your root beer?
Yeah.
Your root beer good?
It is very, very good. Thank you.
It's not Burke,
So-
is it?
It's Mug. The best one.
Mug.
Mhm.
I mean, Mug
Leave in
is-
the comments what's the best root beer. I want to see
Mug.
it.
I just
And
said
also leave it in the comment and tell me if you can find Barks in stores anymore.
shit.
probably had that in the back of his fridge for the last 10 years.
That mug is fresh, I think. You get that today?
Just got it today.
Oh, it's Mug, not Barks. Jeez, not
Yeah. Apparently, Barks is his favorite, but he is drinking Mugs because
okay.
he thought Barks was discontinued. So now we need to know if it's still out there or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is confusing as all hell. So leave a comment with your favorite soda, I guess. So 2 big shows this weekend. The first ever show of IPW's Rebirth Takeover. The results: Fantana beat Bobby Boyette, Caden beat Dominic Warrior, Spike Esty, and Ryan Schimmel in a fatal 4-way match. DDT, Dudes Doing Things, they beat AWOL. Rugged Rick Owens beat Big Bad LG, Logan Green. And for the IPW PEI title, Zane Valentine with manager No Class Eric Bass beat a bloody Wesley Pipes. Let's talk about this show, boys.
Amazing, man. Hats off to them, eh? What production value? I've gone through now and watched a few of the matches. They've started to post them on YouTube. Go there, sub to their YouTube, follow them on socials. Impressive. That's the only word that I can say.
Yeah, I agree, Corey. Pyro, smoke machines, just amazing production, great venue. Video production was amazing. Had overhead shots of some of the matches, and it was unbelievable for an inaugural show for their debut. Fantastic! I can't wait to see where they go from here.
Oh man, did you see LG got some sparklers?
They all did.
They were pyro, not sparklers. Did you not hear what LG told you?
I didn't check. My bad.
Let's get into a couple of these matches here.
I'm just
The
kidding.
Fatal 4-Way was quite something. Something that caught my ear is you had a guy from Caden's from St. John, that it's a specific place in St. John.
Port
Dominic
City.
Warrior from
He goes by Port City.
Port City.
Port City is St. John, yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So Dominic Warrior from Trackety, Spike ST from Minto, Ryan Schimmel from Nova Scotia. Really coming from all over here. This match was really a good showing for all four guys. Caden gets the win, but every guy got to shine. So thoughts on this?
Pretty cool. I was actually speaking with Caden yesterday, and told me that 3 out of the 4 guys is the first time they've ever wrestled in a Fatal 4-Way.
Wow.
So I was able to watch this match, and you couldn't tell that it was their first times wrestling in a Fatal. I mean, they gave each of them gave each other space to wrestle, to perform, to shine. It went well. There was some high flying stuff from Dominic Warrior. All 4 guys ended up performing their finishers, so it was fantastic.
It's really hard to time out a Fatal 4-Way. And when it's done badly, it's painful to watch.
It's done badly.
I mean, we've all seen some in person.
Yeah.
That you're
Yeah.
oh my God. Everybody's trying to wrench in and get their moves off, and it doesn't look fluid. It doesn't look smooth. These guys haven't worked each other a ton, haven't worked 4-ways. They really impressed me, man. It was a great match. I think they all deserve a good pat on the back for that one. And it shows about the quality and the confidence that those guys have to go out there and do that after sparklers, as Mark calls them. Pyro! God, Mark.
Oh man, but yeah, kind of to add on to that, I think one of the fun points about this match, and I'm kind of looking forward to watching it on YouTube as well, because there's 3 of these guys that I've never ever seen before. That would include Dominic Warrior, Caden, and Spike ST. So I think the only one that I've seen is Ryan Schimmel at North Pro.
It's Ryan Schimmel, by the way.
Schimmel. Well, there we go.
Well, they call
have
him
a breakthrough.
He calls him Shelf Schimmel. So who's got it right and who's got it wrong?
Well, the guy that calls himself the way he calls himself. This match, I'd change one thing. I would have changed one, and it's a very small, minute thing. At the beginning of the match, Ryan Schimmel, he powders out, and then Caden powders out. I would have switched it. I would have had Caden go out first, because he's the veteran, and have the new guy, Ryan, do the same, like following the lead of the veteran. But it's a very minute thing, but I'm an attention to detail guy, so, just a little nitpick. But the match was a fantastic match. I really hats off to all 4 of these guys. Caden, we got to mention this, XWA guy from the late 2000s, still going strong and still looking in fantastic shape.
Oh, absolutely. It's nice to see him get a resurgence.
Absolutely. There's a lot of these guys getting a resurgence here, and it's refreshing to see. That your career didn't die with a specific promotion. You thrived elsewhere, Yeah. DDT versus AWOL. The end of this match saw Big Bad LG helping DDT, but then the Ghost Ricky Mortis came out to help AWOL. So, foreshadowing a 6-man tag? Possibly?
Potentially. I was speaking with AWOL after the fact. Ricky Mortis and AWOL may be forming something for a long-term faction,
Okay,
from what I'm
okay.
hearing. So,
Cora's on Sundays?
The what?
I said Cora's
No,
on Sundays?
No, you dickhead. What's that pancake place on Mapleton? Stack.
Right.
Stacked, yeah.
They're gonna go get stacked, baby.
Stacked, yeah. So, yeah, definitely look out for something there. LG is a good distraction, regardless of who
Absolutely. And I got to put over Sebi and Daniel Wall here, and A-Wall too. I felt this was a really entertaining match, and the fact that the bubble gun came into play, and that did the
bubble gun.
Like, now that's part of your gimmick, and it's like arrogance. When Rick Martel had the arrogance to spray in the eyes, Sebi has the bubble gun. Like, we've come full circle. Now he can use it in a match to cheat.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love that.
And not anybody would be able to pull that off.
No.
Sebi can do it. Sebi's gimmick and character, and just his overall
him as a
personality is that bubble gun.
Yep.
So it's fantastic.
This is a guy who tried to put a sticker on my back when I was taking pictures around the ring so that he could promote himself.
Oh yeah.
But he couldn't get it to stick because when he'd push on it, I'm fat. It's not hard. You couldn't get it to stick. It's kept falling on the ground. Sebi's awesome, man. He's really funny. And he's doing things.
Yeah, exactly. With Daniel Wall.
Yeah. My favorite Sebi story is at that Shediac show, him sticking a Sebi sticker on a garbage can and then kicking the garbage can. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. And then he just turns around, looks at us, and he goes, ah. So, Sebi, legend in the making right now.
Absolutely.
The IPW PEI title, Zane Valentine ended up being the mystery, the surprise guest for IPW. He challenged Wesley Pipes for the PEI title, and they had a fantastic main event. Something that surprised me in this match, color. We got some blood.
Yeah.
And, there's every company has something that's theirs. North Pro, it's more TV 14. And, Pro Wrestling Unleashed sort of has TV 14 too, but they're the Propeller Arcade. We're going to talk about them in a second. We got OG companies like IHW and, everybody's got their own thing. With IPW, the vignettes that they've been doing to make the storylines, you don't have a show every week. Doing these little vignettes, it's perfect.
Yeah, mini movies.
Exactly, and it's what Maritime Wrestling needs right now. If you're going to do long-term booking, you need to do these vignettes, because if you wait till the next show, well, your next match should be at the next show. Yeah. So those vignettes are kind of like IPW's thing right now. And A+ right there. I thought this was a fantastic show. The right guy went over. Zane Valentine is once again the PEI champion. So this storyline isn't over. Maybe Wesley Pipes goes on. Maybe he's in the tournament. We did hear that, and we did see that an 8-man tournament will start on June 7th. IPW Game On. Possibly will be there. Don't know yet. But wouldn't be surprised if we make it there.
Yeah, and just to follow up on your vignettes thing, like in a day and age where everybody does everything minute by minute on their phone, constantly scrolling TikTok, having vignettes to keep your attention week by week until the next show is the right move.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's keeping your business fresh in their eyes, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, I better get my tickets before it's too late. I want to go see what's happening, what's going on. You know what I mean? It just makes sense. Everybody should be doing it, but I'm glad IPW is doing it.
Absolutely.
I want to give them credit too for streaming the show live and free on Twitch. They got 100 viewers, 100 and some viewers.
I think it was 183. They
183 is amazing for your first show, man. Good way to get your name out there. I think for me, I was watching and I was like, holy shit, the production value here is incredible. So I think that's an interesting step in the right direction. Maybe we'll see them streaming their shows in the future as well. I don't know. I love it. I don't want to watch the stream though. I think we're going to get there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I think I just kind of wanted to mention this, like, even for myself, not knowing who Zane Valentine was and not even knowing who No Class Eric Bass was. And all of a
How
sudden,
dare you not know No Class Eric Bass?
I got no clue, man. I must live under a rock or something. I got no answer for
That's
you.
why he's the mark.
Answer. So anyway, but yeah, no, I wasn't familiar with them. Like, I had heard of them, but I was not familiar with them. But all of a sudden, it makes it accessible for somebody like me, who's even outside of PEI, that maybe has never been to an IPW show, to know who their PEI champion is and who his manager is, because you know. They're
all those vignettes,
company,
right? Those vignettes are like mini movies leading up to the show. So it gives a chance for everybody to see the storylines, the build up to the storylines, like demonic storylines with TJ Miguel for the VIP match. Those are fantastic. Those, him speaking on behalf of demonic was unbelievable. So I hope to see some more of those in the future as well.
I missed the VIP because I got home late. So it was like during the Fantana match that I started to watch the show. So, but yeah. Anything else before we move on?
Nope.
Just maybe one thing. I know Corey mentioned a little bit about it, but from what I can see here, they do have 2 matches on YouTube up to now. The first one being the Fatal 4-Way. And then after that, we have the Fantana versus Bobby Boyette match, and we have the full highlights as well.
Yeah.
So those are definitely to see.
Heel Bobby Boyette.
Yeah, which is bizarre to see,
really
but made it work.
Yeah.
Like, you can't put Fantana heel.
No.
True.
Fantana's too likable. He's just such a nice guy. Yeah. But moving on to Pro Wrestling Unleashed WrestleMania, I mean Glittering
Gold. Close enough.
What a show this was. I've seen a couple of matches so far that were uploaded. 2 matches that I don't know the result, but the result so far, the Propeller Arcade title was defended as Ethan Knight took on the mystery opponent Jason Boa. The Maritime Heavyweight Champion Chip Chambers retains his title against Ronnie Payne, Dawson James, and Lincoln Steen. Wayne Jugs was the mystery opponent to Madison Miles, and after beating Madison Miles, he challenged Hollywood Cole, who beat Rudy Lockhart to retain the PWU title. And Wayne Jugs, the supposed retired Wayne Jugs, is your new Pro Wrestling Unleashed champion. The shocker of the Maritimes right here. So let's get into this story. Let's get right into Wayne Jugs returning. Was this a swerve all along?
I'm not sure.
I'm
as shocked as you guys were. It was a pure what the hell moment when I saw it. So I don't know. I'm still at a loss for words, actually. So
yeah. What's funny is me and Corey found out from Connor Smith, who was like, I thought Wayne Jugs was retired. Why is he the PWU champion? I was like, what? And PWU just with a weird circumstance, Wayne Jugs is our new champion. Sure. So Mark, your thoughts on this? Because you know a lot about Wayne Jugs, because you went to a lot of North Pro and he was over like crazy. Thoughts on this?
Well, what I'm understanding here is that with PWU, he is a heel. Which is not something that I knew about.
Yeah, he's like the heel's heel in PWU.
Yeah.
Does he still have the same music?
No,
I do not know.
No, different music. Black tights, black headband.
I didn't think he had a headband
in PWU. Everybody hates him in PWU.
So
that's interesting.
Him as the champion now, it's since he's back with that promotion, it's a no-brainer. Gets heat. You know, like PWU is Bizarro World. Hollywood Heathens are baby faces.
Yeah.
You know, their favorite chant is "fuck Wayne Jugs," whereas in North Pro it was like "jugs, jugs, jugs, jugs."
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's one of those companies that I before I die, I need to go see a show.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Absolutely.
The two matches that we don't have the results, Justin Newhook defended his ECPW Celtic Roots title against Anthony Deuce Harlem, and Jonathan Cross defended his DIY title against Joey White. Pretty sure they were successful title defenses because we saw nothing otherwise. The Maritime Heavyweight title on this card, Chip Chambers retains. And again, Chip Chambers is a heel in PWU, managed by Dave Boyce.
Yeah, it's absolutely a multiverse for sure.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
Well,
I don't know why Chip Chambers as a heel with Dave Boyce. It's like a hand in a custom-made glove.
I didn't even recognize Chambers. I was like, "Who the fuck?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, it's Chip Chambers."
Yeah, it's different and it works.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think the only thing that's not bizarro about all of this is Mr. David A. Boyce being who he is.
Did anybody see the video on Instagram of the guy who was dressed in like some
Dave?
ridiculous suit, like Dave, standing next to Dave?
Emu Dave?
Yeah.
They get it on video. Go check it out. I think it's on Dave's Instagram. Not sure where else it would be. It has to be there. He's like, they're shooting Dave, and then Dave turns and sees the guy and like jumps a little bit, and then turns back and kind of Dave Boyce smirk and pulls out some Boyce bucks and gives the guy some Boyce bucks. Fuck, I laughed, man. 10 out of 10. Boyce is the best manager in the Maritimes.
Hell
Sorry,
yeah.
everybody else, not even close for me. Man, the guy's so good. He's so funny.
Light up shoes.
Light up shoes. So PWU, the Propeller Arcade is just. This really felt like a WrestleMania. Like every match was a title match except for one, which was immediately involved in a title match.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Jamie Haley had the best quote ever. He's like, "This is Corey's perfect card." Meaning me, because I'm a belt guy. So shout out to Jamie Haley, one of the best supporters we have.
100%.
Can't wait to see him at a show. Luc Chiasson said, "Corey doesn't do wrestling shows anymore. He only goes to hockey." Yeah, we'll see. This Saturday, April 12th. So upcoming shows. Hopefully, we will be at the IHW Over the Top Rumble. I know Jason can't make it, but myself, Corey, and Mark the Mark are looking to make the trip. They have a Royal Rumble match, and the winner of that match will be facing IHW Heavyweight Champion Chris Charters at the end of the night. His first title defense in IHW. So we'll get into that match next week, or that card next week.
Who else is on that card?
The IHW roster, mostly like Kirk Obey. I don't have the poster in front of me.
Mark's got us. He's pulling.
I got it here. You got Hunter Sampson, Matt Chevron, Logan Green, Hollywood Cole, Kirk Obey, Julian Young, Rick Owen, Fantana, and last but not least on the poster, you get Shano in the match.
Nice.
Shano. Yeah.
So
Good card.
yeah. So do we
Good
see
card.
Shano wrestle Chris Charters for the title?
We could. I mean, he's in the Rumble.
Imagine.
Vince McMahon won the Royal Rumble one year.
There we
That is
go.
very true.
Shano's ego is not quite as big as Vince's, I don't think so.
No.
Shano's a good man. The day before that, on the 11th, Atlantic Pro Wrestling Reboot for the IPW title. Wesley Pipes defends the title against, I am going to butcher this name,
Bhupinder
Gujar. That's what I was going to say. So,
Yeah.
so that match is for the APW title. Jason Boa takes on Benoit Gravel. We've seen these two wrestle before. It's going to be a banger. Joey White versus Kobe Christ versus Dawson James. a banger again. And Bobby Boyette versus Daniel Wall should be a great match. If you're in the area in Nova Scotia, check APW out. So the other match will be next Sunday, 2 p.m. bell time. Yep, 2 p.m. bell time. Live Pro Wrestling, or as I
With
like to call it,
Dave Boys
Championship Wrestling.
There's nothing better than some good Dave Boys Championship Wrestling on a Sunday afternoon. You get yourself your communion in the morning. You go get some poutine for lunch. Check out some Dave Boys, that greasy fella. What a great day.
Call it a matinee.
My God.
So,
you got to get blessed by the priest in the morning, though, or you won't get in the door.
Right.
So competitors on
Dave.
card. I don't think any matches have been announced, but the Maritime Heavyweight Championship Chambers is on the card. Madison Miles, Lincolnstein, JP Sims, Matt Connors of Sabotage. He will be on the card. Ronnie Payne will be there. Oliver Henson will be there. Max Power, Big T or Medium T, and Dawson James.
And this is in Guysborough, Nova Scotia.
Guysborough, Nova Scotia. The fax man is Jason. So we're going to segue here to, first off, we want to thank all the fans or I'm going to say the supporters. I still feel weird saying fans. For the question of the week. We are skipping question of the week for a new segment. This will be a monthly segment that we are calling Mark Side of the Ring. So this is the brainchild of Corey Robbie Show. He said we need to get Mark a segment. So what we are doing, and for anybody listening to this, if you want to request anything, send it to the email. But Mark watched a match, and he's going to talk about this match. And the match that Mark watched was picked by me. And Mark, what did you watch?
So, the match that I watched for this week's Mark Side of the Ring was Titus versus Julian Young in a ladder match from November 11th.
September 11th.
September 11th.
September
Oh my
11th.
God. That's probably the upload date. I'm so sorry, guys. That is my bad. Anyways, I think I just got it wrong. But this was from the first IHW official show.
The first show ever.
Yeah. And it was the first IHW world title match.
Yep.
So
a few weeks before you continue, a few weeks ago, I shared a screenshot and I said, you guys remember the first IHW heavyweight title?
Mm-hmm.
I got a little bit of a chub in my pants. I was very excited about it. I was very excited.
That night is when we decided to do Mark Side of the Ring. So, and you can clearly see the pun there, but I'm going to let Mark continue on with his journey.
Oh yeah. Like it was special. This was very, very special. Like guys, this is like the birth of what Maritime Wrestling is today.
So if I can interject for 1 second, when I first saw this match, there was no YouTube.
No,
I downloaded this borderline illegally off of a message board that was basically used to cover like real action wrestling, and they were like, "Oh, I've got a couple matches from this show," and I wouldn't be surprised if like Dave or Serge or somebody posted it. I was able to watch Sidewinder versus Mr. Suave Joshua Arrow, and I was able to watch Titus and Julian Young in a ladder match, and I thought, what the fuck is this? How did I not know about it before? And I watched it. 2 months later, I went to an IHW show. The rest is history. That's why Corey and I are married now. It's a beautiful story. Just wanted to share that. It's literally, it's a long time ago. But man, Mark, I'm so excited to hear what you thought about it.
Oh man.
Never.
I'm excited as well. Don't worry. But so this match, like basically, like, you guys kind of wanted me to let you know what I thought of the venue and everything. Like, I'll be honest, it was very roughly prepared. Like, the chairs were just put there, and I did not see any concession stands. There was nothing. Like, this when we say humble beginnings, that's what it looked like.
Yeah,
it very much did. And, like, it's like I said, right? It would become eventually a staple in maritime wrestling.
Absolutely.
As for what it is today, what it was during the mid 2000s as well as 2010s, right? There was a lot of going on there. So, but also like seeing Titus and Julian Young going at it, and I think I did mention as well that my first IHW show was this year, and I think it was like early March or late February, but that was my first time seeing Julian Young wrestling. But it was also my first time seeing like Titus in a wrestling ring, not wrestling, but actually seeing him in person in a wrestling ring. So this is very, very special because these are guys that you've heard of, in this day and age, but like it's seeing what they've done for the sport up until now. So that's why it's kind of fun to watch this. But, a couple of notes here, and you can see that like Titus was the heel, Julian Young being like it's Julian Young. He's just he always just seems like a happy guy. Like he's freaking pumped to be there and let's go. Like,
There's an argument to be made that the best Julian Young is heel Julian Young. Like people haven't seen Julian Young in like 2009. 9 years of amateur wrestling. That Julian Young was the absolute peak Julian Young for me. Just a fantastic heel.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see that. It's definitely on my to-do list then at that moment. But I do have a question. Where was this event?
Corey knows this.
It was in Sackville, New Brunswick. At the Sackville Arena.
You know what? I had a guess, and I was going to shoot, and I was going to say Capelé. Like, whatever. It's random, but it's a good guess.
Not like the K Arena or something? Capelé?
No. Capelé.
It was in Sackville, New Brunswick. You want to know why it was in Sackville, New Brunswick?
Good question.
Tell me.
I don't have a fucking clue. We'll have to ask somebody that sometime. Go ahead, Mark.
If any of you guys watching this show from IHW, you please tell us. Send us an email, whatever. Sounds good. But yeah, no, it was really like seeing Julian Young perform even in 2005 and seeing him perform in 2025. You could see the similarities, right? Yeah. Like he enjoys starting the chants and like getting the crowd going. Like he's that type of guy, right? And it makes it so much more enjoyable to be at that event. And, it was great to see it even then, and that he seems to still enjoy it to this day.
Yep.
So good for him, to be real honest about that. But yeah, like it was a relatively smaller crowd, I did notice, but they were very much into it. Like they would chant the whole time. There was always something going on. Like, you suck, Titus, you're a punk. Then he'd call them back a punk. Like, it seemed like a wrestling crowd. Like they seemed to really enjoy what they were watching.
They used more colorful language that we won't repeat, but yes, they did.
Exactly. There was a little bit of PG-14 or TV-14, sorry.
TV-14.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like it started slow. Like it was a bit technical at the start, but then it picked up. And then you notice that, like, this is a ladder match. Like, you're going to see some ladders. But then, like, he pulled out the first ladder and you saw Julian Young going for a somersault. And I was like, here it comes. Dish! Smash. Like, he threw the ladder at Julian Young while he was in the somersault. And I was like, dude, that is brutal. But yeah, that was just the start of it. Like, it quickly went towards that direction. And like that's when you saw like Titus not put through, but like he got smashed into the ladder in the middle of the ring by Julian in a destroyer.
Yep.
You don't see that very often, especially not in the Maritimes. So like for a first show, let's put it this way, that sets the tone for a first show. And I think, yeah, go ahead.
Like you said, the Destroyer, you have to remember this is 2005. The Canadian Destroyer isn't an overused move. It's still a very much new finisher created by Petey Williams. So it's like for Julian Young to use that move, it's still fresh in 2005.
Yeah, and it was how it was done as well. Because you could see that, like, he was, like, you could see Julian Young was almost on the ladder until he brought him back. Like, that's originally how it was kind of done. Like, you could see, like, it was a slower motion, but then nowadays it's just, it is overdone, right? I wish it was still what it was. Like,
it's no longer a finisher, is basically what I'm saying.
Exactly. It might be a signature move, like you see Penta using it or whatever, but, like, it's lost not its glory, but its impact, I guess.
The flavor of the gum isn't there anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You understand it perfectly.
Exactly.
Whatever. But so like even by mid-match, hitting like 10, 11, 12 minutes, you could see that both of these guys were getting over with the crowd. Like there were people chanting back and forth. So like there were already people that were cheering for Titus, even at that time, being this heel. Like,
he's the definition of a tweener, though. Like he has a cool look. He's got the dreadlocks. Yeah. He looks cool. The bandana. Yeah. Leather pants. He looks cool. Mm-hmm. And Titus as a baby, like Titus as a heel was always my favorite because he can be like, as a baby face, it felt forced.
Yeah.
Like he'd shake hands with the fans and all that. Was that?
Yeah. It felt fake to me.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a bad guy, but he's not a good guy.
No, exactly.
Yeah. And as a tweener, I just found that, just his look alone, just reminded me of like a heavy metal scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and people always portrayed that as heavy metal. So, yeah, it was. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, Mark, you look at it that way.
We're about halfway through the match. What do you keep going, buddy?
But yeah, no, it definitely picked up a lot of steam. And basically, like, there's one thing that I found funny. And I know that this is something that happens, and especially early on like that, but you could hear them, I believe, calling their spots.
Oh, yeah.
And I could see that happen, especially with how chaotic those must have felt on them.
It must have been the longest day, man. I couldn't imagine what they went through that day. Yeah. It's amazing that they did that.
Oh, yeah.
And not to mention, like, video cameras back then to what they are now had, like... Yeah. Unidirectional mics. It's going to pick up everything around instead of like pinpoint. You know what I mean? So
exactly,
you're going to catch that stuff. You could hear them like winded out. You could hear them breathing, and you know what I mean. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But it was still a very, very good production for what it was at the time. Like it didn't seem like a home video. Like this was a really, really well put match. They understood. Like you could tell that these guys understood psychology behind being in the ring, right? They started slow. They were doing the chants, clapping their hands, like, let's get it going, guys. Let's go. Like, and that's how you get a crowd going. And you get something back in return, right? So that was awesome. That was awesome to see. But, again, humble beginnings, right? These guys wrestled for years and years after that. And it's great to see that this is where it, this was day one. But yeah, kind of to go through that, like it did get crazier. Like there was a table, it wasn't just a ladder match. There were a couple of ladders. They got put through the ladders. I was like, yeah, he ain't going up, getting the title on that ladder, but then he got another ladder. And I was like, okay, I see. So this was planned. Got it. Understood, but it got crazier near the finish, and it reminded me so much of like the finishes that you used to see back in the day, like TLC matches. A guy gets put through a table, and then he's like, "Oh my god, I gotta push him off," and then he drop kicks the ladder. But conclusion, it was too late. Titus won. Slayer. That's it, guys.
Raining Blood.
The heel won.
Raining Blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows a lot about how everything's been done in wrestling, and it's very hard now to have something fresh and have like a creative finish. Like they turned John Cena heel, and it broke the internet. You know, it's one of those things where something like it's so rare to get something new. And in 2005, this is still new. Like TLC was born that exact year. That year at WrestleMania was the first TLC. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
But 9 years before that, Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels had their match. So it's not like it was something that was brand new. But for your first main event and your first title match, that's the way to go in 2005.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I know that we spoke about the move, the Destroyer, being like so fresh at the time. Like even the move through the table was a Spanish fly.
Yeah.
You don't see that at that time that much. Like it's another one of those moves.
And Titus's Spanish fly was beautiful.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was
Oh my God.
It was so technically sound. Like,
And again, this is almost 20 years ago in the Maritimes after
This
the
year.
driest spell. The only thing drier than that spell in wrestling in the
here we go.
Maritimes
Here we
was
go.
Corey Vautour's high school sex life. It was dry as can be, boys.
holy shit.
I was
Like, I had
waiting for
to
it.
go there. You gotta get her. No, but really, like from Real Action to IHW, there was this gap in high quality wrestling, and these guys out of New Brunswick, like who the fuck are these guys? Holy shit!
Yeah.
That match, like again, is it perfect? No. Is the quality the perfect? It's 20 years old. Credit to Hub City, credit to IHW for the production back then.
Yep.
This excited the shit out of a 21-year-old me. I can tell you right now.
That's the thing. Like what made you a fan of Maritime Wrestling was probably seeing those
This
things
match.
happen in the ring where you saw that on freaking TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were seeing it in real life at that time, right?
Blew my mind.
Corey
Or whatever.
talking about the dry spell in Maritime Wrestling. You know, like it goes deeper than that. Like after 1992, people don't realize, and I just made a video about it, the History of Maritime Wrestling episode 4 on Maritime Championship Wrestling and Canadian Championship Wrestling. Like after CCW, the original CCW closed down, like we have no companies in the Maritimes from 93 to 96. All right. There's nothing. And then I call it what happened after that is basically our Attitude Era in the Maritimes. So from 97 to like 2003, we had Grand Prix come back. We had Real Action. Mainstream Wrestling was a thing. Atlantic Coast. The original UCW happened. ECPW started in 2004, I believe. But it was quick moving, just boom, 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 boom. And a title reign can be 7 days. You know, basically like live fast, die young. It was basically like that. And by the time Renee's in WWE and everybody's moved on away, we're back to the same problem. And we needed a real rebuild. You know, to put it in hockey terms, you know, you did a quick fix to bring wrestling back. And once that quick fix fizzled out, you needed a promotion, a stable promotion that was going to do 7 or 8 shows a year. And the answer to that was IHW, was Innovative Hybrid Wrestling. And the fact that we are going to be seeing them this Saturday, you know, in their 20th year, is remarkable. It's really remarkable to everything they've done. To see Julian Young is still wrestling is fantastic. I'd love to see another Titus match. Don't think we'll ever see that. But, you know, I think Titus makes the Mount Rushmore of maritime wrestlers, I believe.
You're exactly right with everything you said, except for one thing. IHW at that point wasn't running 5, 6, 7, 8 shows a year. They were running monthly. They ran September in Sackville. October, they started to run in Irishtown. They ran in Irishtown until the following September. September to Surrender 2, but really the first anniversary was in Riverview. They ran monthly because these were guys that wanted to get ring time. They wanted to get better. And I'm telling you, it wasn't fucking fun. All right. We were in Irishtown there was the Chipman. I mean, I'll go back. I was there and I'll tell you some stories right now. There was these guys who used to go to these shows. We called them the Chipman Boys. They were the Chipman Boys. They made the trip from Chipman to Irishtown, New Brunswick every month. In March, it was freezing cold and piss pouring rain. Pouring rain. The only people standing outside were the Chipman Boys and my sister and I. And then a couple other people started to trickle in. But we wanted to sit in the front row, man. Like in Irishtown, there was 2 rows or 3 rows in some spots. There wasn't a lot of seats, and IHW was getting, a little bit of. They were getting known at this point. So we wanted our seats, man. So we're standing outside there with the Chipman Boys, and it was cold. And we were like, if they don't open these doors in the next couple of minutes, we're going in. So we've all got $10 in our hand because these shows were $10. $10 to get into IHW at this point. There was like 10 of us by now outside, maybe 15 of us. We just go, fuck, it's cold, we're going. And you just hear people go, they're coming in. And we're throwing our $10 bills on the table, and we were walking in. Boys were sliding out from under the ring, running into the back. We were going in. We were drenched. Okay? IHW, when you say it started from the grassroots, that's not an insult. But these guys worked from a tiny... From Sackville was an amazing start to be able to do an arena. They couldn't afford to do that every month. They ran in a tiny bingo hall with a clover leaf on the roof with a fucking like an 8-foot or 9-foot ceiling. And
couldn't do top rope moves.
They made it work.
Yep.
Some of my favorite matches that I've ever seen live were from those shows.
Yep.
I'm thinking about the Titus and Julian stuff, the Chris Tuff and BT stuff, Gary Williams coming in. Like, it was so good month after month. The debut of some guys who turned into, I don't know, they were pretty well known. I guess Troy Merrick debuted in Irishtown. He had his first matches there. Chris Madison had his first matches there. Who turns into who, Corey?
Wayne
Jugs.
These guys, Tommy Osborne, Chris Lynn Scott, these people who went through Gary's school, some of them had great careers. None greater, in my opinion, than Troy. But, early IHW is very special to me. Those memories are amazing. I still have all those DVDs. I got to drop them off to Corey sometime because he'll actually watch them. I don't think I'll watch them. But I was hardcore, man, and it got me into Maritime Wrestling. And I can't wait to be at the 20th anniversary show this year because very, very happy for them. It's amazing, man. There better not be a fucking North Pro show on that day. You're listening to this, Connors and New Hook. Don't double book it because I'm picking IHW and it'll break my heart.
You've been told.
You've been told. Yeah. Be scared of me. I'm nothing scary.
Going back to IHW, like being late to open the door, they're notorious for that.
Oh my 100%. God! Here's my favorite thing about Irishtown. It was run by these old little ladies. They were so sweet. And they'd have they had a little bar you could get a beer, cheapest beer you'll ever get. I think it was like $2.50 a beer or $2 for a beer. Wow. But they also had a dinner that you could buy, and it was like $5 for a dinner. And sometimes it was like a spaghetti dinner or a chicken dinner. They put it on a little paper plate, and I don't know. They took care of all the boys, and if they had leftovers, they'd sell some to some degenerate fans who wanted something to eat. But yeah, man, I take me back. I'd go back in a heartbeat. Some of the best times I've ever had.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, that was the first edition of Mark's Side of the Ring.
The only thing we ask, if you send your request, please do. Please have it be a match that's available on YouTube or somewhere we can access it for free so we can all watch it. And preferably a Maritime Wrestling match, obviously. So.
Yeah, we're a Maritime Wrestling promotion. We're a Maritime Wrestling promotion.
We're a Maritime Wrestling promotion.
We're going to be wrestling.
We're Sunday. It's not sparklers, it's pyro, dickhead. God.
Oh, God. I'm leaving it in. Like Corey always says, I'm leaving it in. They're just going to rip me a new one.
Oh, yeah.
And I deserve it because I'm an idiot. We're a Maritime Wrestling podcast, so we do prefer. We're only going to take Maritime Wrestling. So no No Ultimate Warrior matches or none of that.
No, we want,
by
we
the
want
way,
wrestling, baby.
by the way, when this comes out April 9th. So happy birthday to BT Bobby Man.
Hey, BT.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday, BT. Smelly fuck. Happy birthday to you. I love you, brother.
I also
Can you
wanted
believe-
to add, Corey's a pirate, so if you ever need us to download matches illegally, he can do it.
Oh my God,
He is
you
going
are-
to drop off his DVDs
this-
to
this-
the other Corey because he can
Oh,
download them.
podcast-
He's a pirate, whatever.
This podcast has jumped the shark.
It's
Holy
so good.
crap. So, will you have an interview tonight? Justin Summers and the Deuce, Adam Doucette. We had a chat with them about their first IPW show, Takeover. Had a great conversation about that. So at 9 p.m. tonight, don't miss that. Again, we will be at IHW Over the Top Rumble. Myself, Corey, and Mark. Jason can't make it. It is what it is. Commitments, the Tide need you. So, no, with that, any
Also want to thank Fantana for doing the intro.
Fantana, that's right. Big thanks to the Maritime Luchador Fantana, the current River Valley champion in CCW. So yeah, with that being said, thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and
All the
tell
other
us what
stuff.
you think. All the other stuff. Tell us what you think of Mark's side of the ring. And next week we will be bringing back the fan question of the week. So keep those coming in. We got a few on the go right now, so we're good for a few weeks. But keep them in. We need them. And
Can we-
Mark's side of the ring?
Can we tell them what it is? The question?
No.
I don't even think
No?
we picked it yet.
So with that being said, take care, guys.
Peace.
Peace out.
Happy birthday, BT.
By that.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember to catch us here every Wednesday for a new episode. Please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and more. Links are in the description. See you next time.
Don't miss out and don't be late. Hear wrestling talk that's first rate. Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. Tune right